to hear? You want to hear the direct? You want to hear the direct security question he was asking? I mean, when you actually hear the question he's answering from Brian Williams, it actually becomes more egregious because Williams has started off by going, "You must be so psyched to have your dressage horse here," and Romney's going, "Yeah, absolutely, yeah, it's great. We have somebody representing, the country, and we didn't even play the part where Krauthammer said, like, why are you doing that? Like, why do you have to have your horse in the most hoity-toity of all of the sports in the Olympics? Why do you need to do that? Why can't you just skip the Olympics that year?" But so Williams has set him up.
Another great question.
Listen to Williams, and it's even the visual is even that much more sort of. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I'm not sure you'll be able to. Hopefully you will be. But it's just unbelievable. There was no reason for Romney to say this other than the fact that he's just so proud of himself, and not just so proud of himself, but necessarily has to cut down others.
Well, he has to seem like the big guy who sits in judgment, which it always seems like he has to be. He gets to sit in judgment of everybody else.
Here's the audio.
Which I'm sure the people that are associated with this are looking forward to.
And in the short time you've been here in London, do they look ready to your experienced eye?
It's hard to know just how well it will turn out. There are a few things that were disconcerting. The stories about the private security firm not having enough people, the supposed strike of the immigration and customs officials, that obviously is not something which is encouraging. Because in the games, there are three parts that make games successful. Number one, of course, are the athletes. That's what overwhelmingly the games are about. Number two are the volunteers, and they'll have great volunteers here. But number three are the people of the country. Do they come together and celebrate the Olympic moment? And that's something which we only find out once the games actually begin.
That is, like number three, but it's the country of the people. I don't know if they're really the people of the country. I don't know.
But that was gratuitous too. He insults the people beyond. I mean,
the look on Brian Williams' face. He's just asked, sort of like, hey, here's a question. Like the premise of that question is, you've been here for a very short time, i.e., I'm not going to expect a real answer here. I know you're going to give me a fluffy answer. You've been here for a really short time. Obviously, haven't been able to make any type of real, concerted determination. But what do you think? Are these guys ready or what? No, I don't. I don't think they are. I think there's some real questions about it.
What's clear at this point, if you take ideology out of this, you and I obviously are opposed to him because his ideology, or the one we think he now represents, because that could change, as we know. But what I think is nobody likes this man. I don't even know how his wife likes him. He basically insulted her and said he wasn't going to be watching her horse compete. That's for Anne. That's for, if you're going to have it there, wouldn't you support your wife? If you just look at it, none of the Republicans who've run against him either time, the one person they've all seemed to hate is him. His neighbors in his house in San Diego where he's building all that stuff have talked to the press and hate him. The whole incident with him cutting the kid's hair, he tried to get some of his old high school chums to defend him, and half of them in that article insulted him while they were supposed to be defending him. I guess it's just clear at this point he's just a jerk. He just has no social skills. He thinks he's better than everybody else. The old saying about George Bush Sr. is much more true about him, about being born on third base and thinking you hit a triple. And he just can't relate to real human beings. Again, it happens again and again. He shows up at a restaurant and trashes the restaurant, doesn't even thank the woman there for hosting him or let her get her picture with him. He's just a dick. I don't really know how else to say it.
This goes beyond that because, this is one of those situations where it's sort of like, what if this guy was going into a sensitive situation? There's being a dick and then there's being a dick. And the problem here is that his personality gets in the way of a very clear and basic agenda here. And one wonders, I never really even contemplated that foreign policy would play a big role in this. I've been concerned about this guy being, sort of surrounded by neocons and sort of agitating for a war with Iran. But I don't know that this guy could do even the basic functions of diplomacy in any fashion even if that was what his agenda was. I mean, this is kid stuff. There isn't anybody. I don't think there's anybody in this office, frankly, who Brian Williams couldn't sit down with on a moment's notice and say, "What do you think about the British? What do you think about the games? Do you think there's a chance?" I mean, of course, I think I don't know anybody who wouldn't say, like, as far as I can tell, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just unbelievable.